I hope I finally found the game that will give me an experience similar to Red Dead Redemption 2. It's called Hogwarts Legacy and it will be released in less than a month, so we obviously haven't seen a final version so far, but we have a lot of information and I'm gonna be comparing different aspects of Hogwarts Legacy to Red Dead Redemption 2. And spoiler, for the most part these games are very different, but one aspect looks very similar, and for me it's the most important one. Because of it, I fully completed Red Dead Redemption 2 story twice and replayed different missions multiple times, and even more, I've spent thousands of hours in Red Dead Online. But anyway, let's start comparing. First, pretty obvious similarity is time when games are taking place, because Red Dead Redemption 2 takes place in 1899 and Hogwarts Legacy also takes place in the end of 19th century, to be more specific around year 1890, as you can see from this news wire in one of the cutscenes. By the way, I was pretty disappointed to see this, because Albus Dumbledore entered Hogwarts only in 1892, so we're not gonna see him as an NPC in the game. Anyway, despite the fact that time period is pretty much the same, it's not making games similar in any way, because Wizarding World is not really changes. We're still living in a medieval castle, we're wearing robes. Hogwarts and everything around looks pretty much the same in the year 1890, 1990 or 1790. So it's only 9 years between these two games, but it feels like centuries apart. Next aspect, which in my opinion will be significantly different, is a story. We obviously have very little information about Hogwarts Legacy story so far. Yes, we know that there will be evil wizards, goblins and a lot of different conspiracy, probably some betrayals and even tough moral choices. So overall, so far it looks like Hogwarts Legacy will have a solid story, but I personally don't expect it to be as good as story in Red Dead Redemption 2. I guess it will be good enough to complete the game, but not something significant, something that you will remember many years after completing the game. It will be similar to Dragon Age Inquisition or something like that. I make this conclusion partly because I was not impressed by characters that were shown to us so far, like different companions or professors or answer characters, and partly because in Hogwarts Legacy we are creating main hero ourselves, and from my experience, games where we have to play as a pre-made character like Red Dead Redemption 2, Witcher 3, Last of Us or God of War usually have much better story. It's a debatable point of view, you might disagree, there are a lot of exceptions, but still I don't expect anything extraordinary from Hogwarts Legacy here. There will be no wow effect in my opinion, just like there is no wow effect when you see a graphics. Again, don't get me wrong, game looks good, but there is nothing revolutionary here, and I remember when Red Dead Redemption 2 was only released, I was so amazed by how beautiful snow looks and feels in the very first mission that it was just wow. And even 4 years later, not too many games can compete with level of graphics in Red Dead Redemption 2. But again, visually Hogwarts Legacy is a pretty solid game. Nature, Hogwarts itself, characters, creatures and casting spells all looks good, but keep in mind that we never actually saw a footage from old-gen consoles like Xbox One or PlayStation 4, and even more, game was delayed for old-gen consoles. As for music and sound, we have an interesting situation, because music is really great. Here I can compare it to Red Dead Redemption 2. It fits, it increases immersion, it's just good. But when characters are starting to speak, especially in side quests, the difference is obvious. Again, it's hard to compete with Red Dead Redemption 2 in this aspect, but it's just a different level of voice acting. But there is something where Hogwarts Legacy can compete with Red Dead Redemption 2, at least for me. I'm talking about combat system. In the first chapter of Red Dead Redemption 2, you will be killing enemies in a very same way as in the last chapter, simply by using Deadeye and making a headshots. Yes, there are different weapons, they all feel great, there are a lot of small hidden mechanics, but still, combat feels pretty much the same, there is no progression, and in my opinion, this is not the strongest part of Red Dead Redemption 2. In a Hogwarts Legacy, on the other hand, combat system looks really promising. There are a lot of different spells that you can choose and use in a fight. You can have up to 8 spells equipped for different situations and switch between them because each spell has a cooldown. Also, there is an ultimate spell called Ancient Magic that is extremely powerful, and as for protecting yourself, you can block, parry or dodge roll. So it really looks like on the hardest difficulty there might be some pretty challenging fights, and you will have to choose gear, potions and spell combinations carefully. I still see some potential problems here with spells being unbalanced. For example, Avada Kedavra, the spell that just one-shots every enemy, is a regular spell with a cooldown that you can decrease by drinking a special potion. Overall, Forbidden Curses look too powerful, but I guess they are forbidden for a reason and it's not gonna be too easy to use them. Next aspect is also where Hogwarts Legacy can successfully compete with Red Dead Redemption 2 in the future. I'm talking about craft and base management, and yes, there is a craft and base management in Red Dead Redemption 2, and they're pretty good, but definitely not the most important part of the game. While in Hogwarts Legacy it looks like importance of craft and base management will be much higher. It will be a significant part of the game, because you can gather materials and craft yourself a gear with different traits that increase your defense or attack against some types of enemies. We will be studying and crafting different types of potions that might be as important in combat as spells, but the most importantly, it's possible to completely customize your secret base, which is called Room of Requirement, and even more, completely customize Vivarium, place that you can fill with different magical creatures that you can pet, feed, gathering different materials from them that you can use for crafting gear, and even use some of these creatures as mounts. Anyway, it's like a magic farm that you can completely customize and manage. I clearly see myself spending hours and hours there. It really looks immersive. And actually it leads us to the main aspect of Hogwarts Legacy that in my opinion will be similar to Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm talking about beautiful, huge, immersive open world. Place that I just want to visit, study and learn. And I'm not even the biggest fan of Harry Potter. I mean, I read all the books and saw all the movies, but comparing to the biggest fans, like my wife or older son, I know nothing about this universe. And still I know that I will spend hundreds of hours in this open world looking for every excuse just to be there. Hogwarts itself looks just amazing. It was recreated as close to the source material as possible, with a lot of love and passion and attention to details. From every single detail to the overall beauty of the world, you can tell for sure that Red Dead Redemption 2 creators were extremely passionate about making this game and about this era of Wild West in general. And I see the same passion when Hogwarts Legacy creators are talking about the game. They definitely love Harry Potter universe. So I'm pretty sure that playing Hogwarts Legacy will really feel like visiting the book itself. And even more, a lot of places were not even described in the books. For example, Hufflepuff Common Room, but it was created in a game and it looks amazing. Not like I'm planning to join Hufflepuff, but still. And there are a lot of other places that were not shown in the movies or described in the books that we will be able to visit in Hogwarts Legacy game. And for me it was the biggest selling point, just like with Red Dead Redemption 2. Yes, it has great story, awesome characters and outstanding graphics, but beautiful open world is the main reason why I've spent thousands of hours in this game. And I hope to find similar experience in Hogwarts Legacy as well. But let me know, what do you think about this upcoming game? Are you excited or not? And with that being said, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Stay safe, stay healthy, goodbye.